ne Kessben mo e ka ne se headquarters no e wo ho won mo wi a America no anasa America dollar $25 million and na umbetimi dia say si we amano ne de ka ho ani gide ka se bo wom na me de bremo me de adinya ko abono majima Afi enchiremu enie Ghana mampanyini nana adodan kwa Kufuado akon pasetuo ewo Mercy Kakrabia Kessben meche Bank of Ghana na Ghana Stock Exchange honomo na wokoye no na chese empanimfo chirechire no coronavirus ba yesu sanso bone ne papa de abre wonomo adwumadie.
In two phases.
Government has found it necessary to give the bank maximum support because it became obvious to us on coming into office that if the analysis that had been made about the fragility of the financial sector that we had inherited, if we were not prepared to back up that analysis concretely, God knows what would have happened to our country. And the manner in which the reforms have been carried out, I know there's a lot of controversy. There are many of the people who are responsible for the crisis in the first place and found it convenient to be able to point accusing fingers at those of us who have tried to clean up the mess. But that is the way of things. Those things never bother me too much because I understand the need for politicians to agitate. But I think that it's a matter that's been very well handled. It has enabled our country to come out of the financial sector mess that we inherited in a stronger position, and all the indices are pointing to that. So it's a major achievement for you and your team. It's another
reform in two phases. The first phase had to do with the banking system, where we revoked the licenses of 9 banks. All depositors were made whole. That was 100% coverage of every depositor in the banks. It's the depositors in the SDIs.
They've got their money.
And they got their money, 100%.
They had access to their money.
Everybody got access to their money. Regarding the banks, the 9 banks that had their license revoked. The data that we have suggests that more than 95% of depositors have been fully paid. So there are just about 5% of depositors who have large amounts. These are the high net worth individuals that were settled with bonds, which were to be retired over 5 years. So we think that most of it has been done. There were a few delays regarding depositors of GN Bank and First Allied. And in the last 3 weeks, that has also been cleared. The government has provided a bond worth 1.7 billion CDs, which we have monetized 700 million of. So the receiver is also working at clearing the last few people that are.
Na Ghana buy America dollar no opepe aduonu enum $25 million say what they kwa kwesi corporation kasia mechefa ngo adwuman ne kasia pa e watoye mantemu ena no atoye mantemu okwa ho aprabo no de na twatwo kora no de aso ebo fom ese takra de yensi Ghana National Petroleum Corporation kasia ye ho no ebe operational headquarters a wonu bedi omo dwuma nyina e wo ho na Kufuado kasaye mu no wo kire se wo mu wi a ebetimi afa adwumayefo ebeboro ahannan.
We pledge to position Western Region, quote, into a reasonable oil services hub with a first-class port facility, as well as positioning it as an efficient center for back-office support for the oil industry in the West African region, including the relocation of the operational headquarters of GNPC to the region. I appreciate the effort of the Western Regional Minister the Western Regional House of Chiefs, and the Regional Lands Commission for making it possible for this project to commence. Once completed, the building will have a 300-seater auditorium, a gymnasium, a cafeteria, and a business center on the ground floor. The upper floors will provide office space for GMPC and other potential tenants, especially in the oil and gas value chain. To be constructed at a cost of 25 million United States dollars over a two-year period, I urge the contractor, Mr. Sienna Services, to ensure a timely delivery of this project and within budget, and use.
Show you that we are fully energized and well prepared to deliver this project on time and within budget. The GNPC operational head office will be a LEED certified building. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Also, it will adopt a state-of-the-art planning and technologies which will allow it to minimize the impact on the environment and the communities around the site. The construction time for the project will be 24 months, and we expect to generate at least 300 jobs during the construction. The building will be a 7-story building and will accommodate 400 people.
Was that we should have corporate head office, which should be in Accra. And right now, we don't have international airport in Takoradi. So to bring the whole head office to Takoradi will impede the activities of so we are grateful that we have the operational headquarters. For time, all the head office, especially when we have had international airport here, the main head office will come here.
Nana adodanko akufu ado ne churches de wofa ne kwata krade eno anu wantina Ghana ha yento so emfa emamo na osofo wo hwe yensase ene niema pa ewom onu abokwaku asoma kyereme edi atudwo se MPP aban na niso ade hunu soso pa enkankane aluminium companies ahodo e wo Ghana ha na yeka aluminium company dia ne yensa vako ho fisa no na ekura wo menya fitetetrende aban ne se opese yen ankasa nso yetimi di ye ho so ya yen so ye kantan enkwa aman bi so se ye kwa akopɛ emmoa enti de ye wo no ene ebeye ne yi ama mfaso de abaso abana pa ba so fa bedwakuo bi se wo mo enhwe na wo mo entehwe eniema vako ena afen so krampo no eye jaidek wo no mo ebehia na afen niema pa wo mo edibegu akwan mu yenwa asoma kyereme oye soafo yi wono na kopa sa board no ho entoma wode to wanim se wonya adwuma so se de beya nana adodanko akufu ado na niso ade hunu Ghana Beyond Aid no ne nyina ebetimi abem na onse omampanyin so ma yehun se omanyi yesan ewo box site ewom enti sa box site ne nyina ho fatode ebeba ya kyese yetimi de niam agu akwan mu a ebetimi de sika enso ede ama Ghana ama yesika sam ene economy no etimi etumpon no ena honorable asoma kyereme se saba sofo abedwaku ayatie yi wo mo nhye eso mo be ya adwuma so a ebeboa ama adwumadie ene aniso ade hu na ewo aban ne so no etimi abem Ghana mampanyi dada eye John Dramani Mahama wane na bedi kire Professor Nana Opokwa Jemai one mo akọ krobia yerefi Asante Kotoko enanso na Asante hene otumfo 22 ababio ebra na yakwakoyi maami Jementa ede akire na futuo kakra akokora wo wa wode emamanefo nyina ne se enya afe na wo bepetumi no na akwasewa no amwa no aye safe shita na also a microphone bi emu a wakodi atem Ghana for enya atem didie ne yehwe ye panipa wadwene ye ho na wo betimi di mpontu abanti se o mampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama bane na so a won hye se wo betu ni fo na se ne ntu abom nyina no enya atem didie na wose wodi obi Adishmama ye best stress ye gusua ye kan katse bono se ene no eba krobia yire first antikotoko hene afutuo ena afe omampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama ne Nivani Meta kan ho Professor Jena na Opoko Ajimai wonu nyina ne no ba mi nyina no so na me home so kakramra me ba dia ka etwe Memamo akwa bade shimama kasi abono dia ketre enie panyina wono ene gina ewo krofori krom metre yene ayo fori krom ya wo NPP amanyoko no edimu Honorable Emmanuel Mafo edi atudwa se emfie miensa ene fanie Nana Adodankwa Kufuado NPP amanyoko empuntu dwuma wo mahwe dia go fori krom no eno kura dia danse se ekuo no wo mafa no one touch kra wasi nyankropon ayawie fi se NPP for ejene Ghana for
NPP amonyoko ye o my Ghana mu se nam so afi abato da ye ni mu December ntino wono ma hyase ya mensin ni abato mpasu ya hodo so no wono epa wono a wono bedi amonyoko ni mu akakoton wana no di nsem mekire campaign team members no na se nti wudu ani ekirem e wo forukrum abato mpasu ya so a wono so matimi apa wono mo mba bedi se adwuma so no e de ama wono natimi aboa ama wo forukrum so NPP yatimi agyan na so e wo hono mo na no ena mra hye bedwane wurumanyamfo Emmanuel Mafo wakire mu se wohwe emfie mpem mienu ene edunsia mu a wono bɔ mmɔden a ya emba no wono mutimi nya empem aduosia mienu ene akire afidie wono hwe ani mu mpa sɛ abato no nyina nsusuanso nkɔ awieye no na omatimi ama MPP wɔso no kokoroko amonyɔkuo no vote no makomako empem aduowɔtwe 80,000 sɛ nti wono yɛ adwumaden pa de aboa amonyɔkuo no wɔsa kwan no so na ne nkire mu no sei ɛna wɔka fa ho
ɛnɛ yɛ ba ya yɛ ba sɛ oforikrom yɛn so yɛ campaign team no yɛ yinadi na ye dia kire Ghana fo nyina say ye battle ready na fe na ye ba beti asi from 2016 ye mana na Akufo-Addo 62,000 votes Ghana ha nyina na ye toso be ye 9 constituencies e ma president vote e course afi ye ma president 80,000 votes e wo Forikrom constituency eno ho preparations e na ye nkunimdie no ne den nkunimdie no ne say yebetu abawie ne akenkan no na Adodankwa Akufo-Addo enam ne nyuma pa oye waye mfie be enan a Ghana for the to me man no na Ghana for asa ahwe so ato aba e de ama no amna be president for the second term enkunimdie no nso ene say members of parliament are omugina on MPP ticket a me ka ho no ne ya to aba no ama yen so ya wini ama yakobo president achidom akohye mra papa akoye budget papa akoye agreements papa e de ama president na ni program a owo no ne na aban wo no watumi aye ni program no ama homfa so no aba ama Ghana for said in fear 2016 Ghana for to aba ma yen na omo ma yen 169 seats in parliament na enam senti yatumi a support president ama Ghana ya ye adwuma ama ene yakum dun so ye bie factories ye de nkoda eco school free any infasode aka ni nyina no
na yanko akrofom nso na senya mpanimfo to aba no wode ma yewra Alex Blackson se wonyina wonoma na mu no nkopre emahye bedwa akonwa no wono so ne nsantwerefo abonkomo de atudwa sa no kwasem ni wo bia na wata panyini bia chi na nipa no di ntwo no emfa yawdie enhye wo mu na emom hunu se NPP amanyoko no eye batan ba ko ayetetimu a enye yi afia abato no wo mu hia enkunimdie
Alex Blankson ena se dia kurofroma de hye onu matima to abama no mo kire se wonu nko na onkosi wonanan e wo mrahye badwafie mu emfa ma mu December bato yi ayeba bato yi na wopani ohwe na ho brase na ho keka wa monyokuo ni mu a na bibia di adanse se obetimi aboa pa ama monyokuo na timi gyan na so e wo epom ho no mo ne senti Alex Blankson e kire se e wo mu se nipa pinu na koye se ko present ke ntimi to onso aba na wo mra memrahye badwafo nanso so no sɛbe akanhye de ɛda yi abako pɛ ne bɛdi nim to ɔbɛsrɛ wɔn mu a wɔn mu prebie nyinaa yɛ wɔn anya tumi ne sɛ wɔn mu nyinaa nka bom no mofia na ɛnka bom ne ba ɛbɛtumi aboa ama amanyɔkuo no atumi agya nna so paa ɛno ɛda nhye a wɔbɛsrɛ paa sɛ amanyɔsɛm mu basabasaeɛ a ɛba mekyerɛ political violence no yɛhwɛ ne nyini nyinaa ɛnto ntwɛn sɛ de ɛbɛyɛ 2020 abato yɛde yɛnim no bibia bɛtumi ayɛ asomdwi ama MPP amanyɔkuo no atumi agya nna so owura Les Blankson ɔde saa nsɛm nyinaa to dwa ɛberɛ yɛ akorofurom abato mpɛsua soɔ no wɔnom ɛyɛ amammerɛ ne amane ɛde apa wɔn mu a wɔnom ɛba bɛtɔn wɔn ano de sɛm mekyerɛ campaign team members no ɛde ama akorofuromfoɔ
Lucy nyinaa de wɔn nim sɛ yɛngya wɔn akyire yɔm no nyinaa wɔn ka campaign no ho me masɛm a meka ne sɛ individual obi a wɔ akorofurom bi ayɛ campaign manager because ɔkɔ ne fie a nipa wɔ hɔ no wɔ mo hɔ nti ɔn manage obiara na ne fie na ne campaign wɔ hɔ ɛmayɛ nti wɔn nya yɛngya wɔn akyire wɔn nya wɔn kan ho dada decisions bi a yɛ take they are also part of it a yɛn nyinaa yɛbɛka bom ne ayɛ adwuma kama ɛma victory no obi sɛ woyi party to nkyɛn yɛn nyinaa yɛyɛ abusua yɛyɛ nuanom nti yɛn nyinaa yɛbom yɛyɛ nipa ko party na ɛbɛkyekyɛ yɛn ntɛm nti yɛma ɔno ɛnda nkyɛn ne yɛn nyinaa yɛn to aba no kama wotie akrofurum nsɛm a from your registration nyinaa gidigidi bi amba dede bi amba yɛn nyinaa yɛ MPP parties ni nyinaa yɛ ka bom yɛyɛ adwuma no kama nti we are assuring the president say gidigidi bi amba akrofurum yɛbɛhwɛ ne ayɛ bibia kama ato aba na awie no wɔ ma yi me elect president awie a gidigidi bi amba no akrofurum yɛ 80-20 for the president and the parliamentary. We are making sure say 80% of the total vote you on that day. No, 80% will go for the president and the parliamentary candidate, and the 20% the Bema Yanom for no handle. With the campaign team, they are solidly behind me. You know, Juma Kama. Decisions be a take involve everybody. Ye Juma Kama until we are sure of the victory ahead. It sounds house to house. As we speak to you now, Yenny. You call out house to house, you from call for, and we have the support of the youth. Youth ne wukrum hanging ye pillar. Akrofum constituency pillar. Until we are assuring and Ado Danko Akufo say 80% of the total vote are button wa hand there. A bayani dia na menso parliamentary candidate mismenya 80%.
And what she and a mention cratchy metre DC at the macro from a Odmanyam Morris Jonas Wood. One also so Edna no to movie watch they say. To hear 2008 ya the DMPP amanyɔkuo no kwatena fie ɛyɛ mpapa mu ɛne nyiyimu ti wɔbɛsrɛ wɔn mo pa sɛ saa bere di wɔn mo hwɛ na wɔn mo nka wɔn ho mbom na atimi aboa amomatimi akɔ n'anim afei
2008 yɛbɛ lose election nyina front timu meni we afa mebuafu matiatna ɛna na ama NPP ntimi lose because we have adwuma president for year na senka no kwa timi selema etimi election but nam mente me ho ase bi baaye na ma etimi lose 2008 MC esua bibia free the course no mu a this round no mpanifo de nima gwakwan mediation committee a mo try CC wentwentwi bia aba party no mu a menim say omkoso mo dwuma pa na beboa ama nkabom soronko aba metimi wini election massively tibi koso abom nyam abaso ma ede mo si ho se committee se mo fancy CC no omkoso ama omabasa mo nyedu ma bibia mu mabam nomkoso amwa se de be nkabom soronko beba ne yetimi wini election yenya ahwe kra no district na do danko kufado kritima akrofom no eno kwa ya sam kase ama district no district by all sectors of the economy the impuntu kase about district mu from education to health to agric to energy everywhere impuntu aba say wo hwe ye tracker mu a behu projects ahodo a aba tracker no mu a che say yen kutakura no ye nansi about 24 projects major ye can issue I can one issue kwa ye two issue makoma 19 but ye fan say one thing nti epuntuo de e be district mu nam so betima aboa mama fo hu
na addition so a wo manso adubia ya emrahye bedwane owo honorable ya Frempong Ado Ogunde wono so tua wo ma no ne na pamfo kakra wo so apaw ekuya wo mo behwe nkitamudie ensem so mecha campaign team no ene woni e bebo entoa pa ede ama NPP e wo mpesa ne so yehura Ogunde wono ankasa bo mode kyerɛkyerɛ mu ehu ye hia se mpesa ne sofo wo mo so enya sa campaign team no
independent maybe a kakawa independent no and you NDC for the village para su condizione ne casa to so ya party nimba ya emi peli ti as chairman no we make too much na kasa say free NDC for now so so no mabuwa 2020
Adishmama nanu esi yepe yenwa Kenneth Opoku Jemfi wano so eya bankrache panyine ewo Amanse South wano nani amanfo etikuro nim wose adehye ewo ho de wo mani abre papa ya wamo ehwe se NPP besa ba bio na empuntu djuma wano mo eya dia ma wo mbeto aso Yentu akase ebone so bibinti yensan kan video no na yane adehye bi a wo mo ye abusua akasa ewo edum heya na wo mo ekire se wiase no otimifo otimi wa awroka wafo abeti emu oya pa so mekonim se abusua efie kase ewo ho na papa bi a yese wo ye books a friend se ayi approach service ya wo ye yenra obenboaten yese wo wuro wo mukawa efo ma beti abeji dan no anase fie ni nyina edi akenten so sei eno mo ne ye bonkomo
Mua abusuakuo bi omo ewo kumase adum ena sese de wono mo sre na nanom atrankonya eni mpanimfo ahodo eka bia wo mo se wono mo nkwa abusua ne mo ne nyina ne se wono japade mekire efida da bia wono abusuafo epegasi honom no sese de adehye bi wono mo fa kwati kwan bi so wono mo je japade no efiri wonsa ne senti abusua yi bo modern afrens emchirefo nhie mu a wono ano de semu nyina ena wono ekire mu se mo besre se ekwan ahodo ampanimfo pese wono mo fa so je japade na nya de se bebo akora ndi se mpanimfo memu a ene na abusua no wono ma wieye aba ne senti wonsa emchirefo nhie mu na se no okasa mafo ogina abusua nyina na mu okirechire nsemu no eye owura George Krofa ya ono owo high court na ne nkasa ye mu no sei ena okirechire nsemu mu efa
eno ti kodai ye da so koye court mfie mienu mu ni July 7th ya ye court ema court de ye 30th November ye koye kra no Mr. Alfred Obin no ne lawyer ma emprensani wosi ho jama court kra fine no ye sen ko de ses kan kra be ma ye lawyer na ya je ye nka bi nhemu adwada twa mu ya wo ho ne frɛ sɛ nadmofo abaha eti minimini ani abusia de sia ye yesi abebusa wo mo sɛ edi asɛm wo mo ba ya wo mo se yenya ready na wo bebu fie na gu efie wo court de wo ti de bebugo yensom no mo koye ni wo kuada na me watamakra me ti sɛ nadmofo letters letter ni bi wa ha ye hwe mu na wo masɛm ne sɛ ɛdan ye si hoi nananom ɔmamu panifo bi ehwe bi ɛdan ye si hoi ba bi akrake ɛdan ye si hoi ba bi abu ɛdan ye si hoi ba bi apan etiama ye hu sɛ kata asise bi ya yɛdan abam asise bi ya yɛdan abam etina che sentempa no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ contact ye lawyers no mu nyina contact yo mu de ɛsɛ sɛ mu ye bi ɔma ye na ɛsɛ hu sɛ do ba bia na ɛsɛ ɔmamu panimfo etimi ti ye nsɛm bie na ɔmu ba mu ma ye especially ability sɛ ye a ye nim so ma panimfo boa sɛ wo mu a wo mu ani sika no ɔbɛboa wo mu sabre ani ade bɛbo obi dan bu
eno achi ena abusuani pa kwawo wono soso ena gina abusuani nyina na mu o kire sɛ abusua no wono mo nton bibia emfa ma wo bia nti wo bia ya wonam kwati kwan so a wo pɛ sɛ oba bɛgye japade ne de abusua no so ayɛ krado pa sɛ wonom ehia no
kakra bi a metumi aka ne sɛ me nananom nton dan bia emfa ma Alfred Obin contract na mo ne koe no ma hu sɛ contract na mo ne koe no enya de bɛbo abusua no ade no kra no ye abusua ni nyina na hia ye de ade ande ma no nti part of abusua na hu sɛ sisie because want to be fa wo dan fa more before 40 years there's a time no kra na me meti sɛn enti ye nananom ne e friend sɛ onfasefo no ye yakofa lawyer sɛ ye nananom ya sama o mu kra sisi ya serve papa no letter say contract ne yampene na asɛm ne nyinaa kora ne sɛ yaka kyerɛ sɛ contract ne yampene nti sika bi a wotua ayɛ no ka na yɛntua with interest mfa ma na adeɛ akyɛ saa up and down saa na mo amohwɛ dan wei yɛ dan a ebu agu nipa so a na mo ebebu dan na agu fam.
Reverend Isaac Kessben so wucha so ye no Reverend Obia na ye simple amount mopa what die na wanu na kofa bae wa ma nani pa bɔ mpae pa na enye mpa bɔ no ko na ye ne de wotie sɛ de amanfo bi so nam ahokyere mu boa wo mo sɛ ni birthday so no ko a 18 year boy wo die no ɛna wo ye adoye so no kokora we de go so ton ɛna okoye yasi kuro bi wo e fa ne sɛ fa ho ye den na ebra okoduru ho na kyese ba bia ni bia bedura yi sai wo mo computer no kura wo mo nim se nanim ye tuntum ana se ni fampo na ka pesa akwada akwotera ho aye ne preche akosi computer laboratory kasia mo edi textbooks ahodo nso so asa hye wo mo library emuma sei na nkomobo ne koe
omo ewo fa ho ye den ye no eben go so wasunafo no for mensin mu ewo hafo mantemu na sese de meka se wono matede ne pa ne nyina ne se wono musu frɛ ye omo esu ekire wo panipa yo na ekofare bai ede ma moment of glory prayer ami mopa eye Reverend Isaac Kessben so no sese de opani watimi etie wo na so pamu pa ya watimi akɔ mo akakoye wo na hiade ama wono mu a sese wono makotwa homemu wono ede ahye fa ho ye den kuro no ensa na wodwumadi na se no wono ekire se sa ne mai nyina ba beda adwa ebre ya mpanimfo bɔnto hɔ no wono kɔhwɛ niema hodo bi a wono betumi aye ede aboa kuroma no ne no ene ba beda adwa se timamufo no ekire se wono behia library ntetia bia ya mofra betumi akɔ aka kosua de na etumi aboa ma nwoma sua etumi agina brane won pom hɔ no eno eda nkyɛn a ensu ye ni korogyen ya timamufo betumi anomo se de be yo na efini keka bia ma woni padua mu no eno susu no wono hia bi pa ya se esi a me no kasa ide mpanimfo tumi ya mamra ne amane ya wono ma wie sa dwumadie nyina ya wono ede ahye fa ho ye den kromu no ensa na adwabo kakra yenom eboye na wonom ede se japade nyina emakuro no atitire ne nintine pinu e na wonom edi mu ba ya ebeye ni monyam ede ma mopa asori fakuo no e na afensuso fa ho ye dinkuro mu nyina da wuyi yabofo ya yetu wonom efri mopa so ye no a na kokurodufo bo achi dankwa wono e na ye wo hempon ye wono e wo fa ho ye dinkuro mu honom a Ormonyamfo Margaret Bobu won na ye peni kwankyerefo oda nwomesua no e wasunafo no of mensini ne mu e na afenso afoforo pinu ebe na ne nyina mu ebre ya wonom ede library no eba be hye kromo ne nsa no mpanimfo ye ba adwumadi na se timi bo ana de woni krotua wisi kokohwe ne ma hodo wonom ede ya hye library no se ma ya eba be boa amofra ntete ye wo nwomesua mu na ebre ya wonom ebo mpaye ede atwa homa mu ede library na hye kromo ne nsa no esem se bi e na ekoso
ye mpa bo nyina ne se asafobade Odoba Jesus Christ, or Rush Yadam Kotre, you know. Omo drew Omukaze, and Cheche Benny. And a to me, I shall Massey. Nia can say, Sir to me noa, or the Edom or Yesu Christo no. Erade, ma, when you mean can emetna be Jesus, Yemo Yade. And woman na wura Yesu Kristo mojanu
enwachi ena abefu nsuo yomu atu amafa ho ye den kuro no se de be ye beboa ma nsuo kakara wo hono no se be nipa kire ka so hono mti no ano be brasie nti ne sese no omso aye we ya ama nsukuragye nso timamofo nya bi anom ewo epom hono mo na mechanized boho ana se nsukuragye no so sei ne ho hyehye no esi ekroye
ye de suzuku hoje ama aga kan ba oji di ba ene penfo oji di ba sani wo mudi ahoden aye adwuma ama na ehu de ehun onyame hye worum fara fo nyina ya so ade mu enti nyame konkonkoro era me di twam ama ene ekwan abeda ho ama obi atwa afansuo enti mi twansuo mu nyame oba Amen.
Enti yakase Reverend Obi yema no happy birthday ogusu a wodie no na yakase Nyankopon ma ne nwosra enno so na wanya adoye no de eboro sakra na meka se krobia yerafia sante kotoko hene otumfo se tutu ababio e de futu amamanyefo nyina se Ghana fo nye wano eya ene ehwe ye po obi obetimi aye adwuma ne yie enti ni titiri wo to mampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama fo ese won konkose na no fa nkodi obi atem
men that was it and Abraham here president akwankyerɛ ɛne futuo a wɔde boa me ama a metumi hwɛ ɔman yi so ɛno metumi da wase ɛda wase a membie da na nyame ɛna ɔde ndaseɛ bɛma wo na Abraham here president America the Baha na the adwene ato ho ya you see I just said you put that asanteman edu pempe so bi airport na odaro ba we come ho ama ye commission first phase abra you see runway no any big aeroplane back in I think you by as in a there Anajo, Evio, airplane let me see the Kumasi. Send you may na any year. If you be a so, and name me a Sunday, I tell me free about so. Airport phase 2, Oma organic said, back on the camera home. And me I saw. Did you say, Anka, the Dumano? Abai we mana ko so anka se phase 2 ko yewie no so me ba me hu se ko so fefe na sa ne wo se e ba na ne fi sam re no an se anyoma akechi kaka afa impunto ho ne nyoma nketiti and this amanyo ko no abra yi as flag bearer with the memo betrayal and Messiah that was it. Until I know when we had that, I'm running to say, I was a me part of coming home near corporate about one. And the Council of Elders and the National Executive Council, they share solely from the community fund and a talk of painful. Professor Nana Jane Opokwati Manso. The question said, Oyoba, and so yes, Oyoba and any no. Or Sepata. He said, oh shit, need to my one day. Free man or yet lectures, ever been so being Minister of Education. Nejuma Sweeney. I just said, ocean at this one, sir, but she had the approach. Abra War Ministry of Education, sa e-blocker, you see here, edu jama dia fefe si wo no ne emiamia bebre ono ene hwe so amienti ye sa dia no obaye onim se wo masua ehia enti o ye hihye se na be ya akodan betimi sua na omotimi apase on exams enti books a ehia se yɛde bɛma akwadaa no yɛbaeɛ na akwadaa 9 book baako ɛna ɔmo nyinaa hwɛ mu abere a yɛbɛfiri aban mu a wobɛfiri Ministry of Education na akwadaa a ɛwɔ Ghana ha biara obiara ɛwɔ books na N9 na wotiri mu sɛ sɛ na ɔyɛeɛ no ɛma adesua no ɛkɔ anim na teacher fo nkɔ school 27% teacher absenteeism. Every aban na wati abafon to 7%. Until now, X-ray or exams are in Padana room. We should be here. Now, so any the best performance in BEC, Oka course. Now, so any the best performance. Osha West African Senior Certificate Exam and Omotron and senior papers in the leaky. Now, so without leakage, Ghana, for 4 years continuous, in the E-First, our West African Secondary School exams, running mates, and the National and Council of Elders G2, and National Executive Committee, so a G2.
Na yentie omampanyi dada bedi achirafi wane no ekro ne running mate no Professor Jane Nana Opoko Ajimai.
Na chame kameso na me de mama ni eti awadi afoso na akada otumfuani. Ene asome de mi raka ni nyina ntimi masonde eti awa. Already my said if you have been that and I'm so and so and I'm only about the town anymore. I send that down which Nana and paying for. Now, I decided in dinner. I'm the best friend, Nananson, Isra, the best friend of Futu. Our best friend as a tree. It is a minimum said, and I'm more than anymore. I be an amateur and I'm done with it. There was a day, Nina and Nasso, Nina na Wahachi, Nina and Washington, Nina and Washington, na Miki, Nana Adam Dame, na and Wabba for so, and Roman so. It's a minute of this ready to see the new tea and the baby and okay. Na said the American, I would die in the day. Who say it might have said it, and so said the 70 back from Kojina. And Yaban, you said, the best was a human, they're very home. Nay, said the American, and Wabam Paso, Amobia. Naya way and Yam Pie when he said, a very young pick. Na Abana Yabetu, the Papa to the Boko, Namasa Bakon Yami. And I got a house from Java. And tell you, they see a opportunity. After that, I had a dinner trouble breed. Young Granny will move back and wish you feel. After your way, and now be a crowd favor for me, but truly dear back. After the intro, I led them and every other fear as it is. And tell me, a poor in young woman, Jack, when you forget, be a banyan. And tell you, now you to your mouthful. Na bibia akwaso dwe mo mai esaka na ha de se nya asomdwe a ana o me bi edu ho akwa nani ma o nya asomdwe nkonto bi abeba na ejina asomdwe so ntina ka ya ko ya ni na bibia ya asomdwe gana ha de ya kasa se de se ni ni pa o mu ni de ya kasa ni ni pa o mu school ya kasa ni hwe ya o pray ya be ka tambo ni na ya be ka tambo na sisi ni papa na omana fa ntu me fra no na ejina ye beti ye ho ase ye you papa ni ma tete no mo a na obi ni tan a na obi no so ni de me fa ho a I was said na juma ye kra ekofa na mo me ti na obi efu o ye o nye so obi o ma re bi nya ba ende se de ye so ntu ko to mo ji mo ka sa tre o ba dan dan no no so ti ase se ye ni na ye kan ni na ni pa ba ko se de ani ra His Excellency Akano. Not your common boko. He says, the Ghana, you bet me up for your limpo. Actually, the baby, you meant my show. Until I know Miss Reed for when I'm about to get to the issue, it must cry and never sounds the issue.
Yabesre Krobia Yefes and Tekotoko Hina Kepen a Futu and Sana. Mama Jane Nana Opoko Ajimai no mampanyi dada nso omani so ade hunu na to aso ye nsebrepam ye benya abo amamo aye sre na achima pedwa ohen kese ba ko wo ho no ye nse ye se na sa se kakra bi eda ho no mo ayi salanga de force wa o ma ba giata o mani ase no wo frɛ me mama mutiti benua srafo de obi ehu wo mo asoja na eba no ene wa ba ye steady agina ho yie na asojafo mienu ne ba asasi so mo ba ya yes member bi so free wo mama twama no mo ba na chese ayi sojafo no kwa de wo so mo policy ne se wo mo kwa akopata ntokwa na bibisa wo mo ma woni short mienu anase ba ko bia na fe leader no a wodi nipa na ka munyina ma ba ne mo atrase ne mo kansumdwe sem we wo mo ma woni short akwa ba ko kra se wo no kra de ye bonu tuo kra enka no na e was there asrafo na omo kwahwa ababan no ye brim wo mo brim tro ya nya asam ketwa no musisi fom wona ya brim wo mo sa soja ni ya bo no na ba ko a woni nsentwafo bo nkomo aye Clementa Sawe Ado wacha se ye vem ne pa esuo bo anka se petem so ya bo wo mo pa chawo se wo he na soma wo mo na wo mo kra no wo mo nya nipa bone kra obi amfi wo mabobbo bo mo ni ato free kra abobbo bo mo tu brazia ye amfi wo mo ne abrim wo mo anwumre dia beto so ne se enipa aduonum na aposifo akere wo mo Suya ehwe abania memuoni nkrasie mpuntuo oswafo yedi ni chia no eye honorable Hajia Alima Mahama wode atudwa se MPP abanya dawroma ene asoya hwe nketanwodie ensam so ena afi wono anatena ye no se eba street name no wo maye ate wo nsafi ho na afi su kra Ghana Post won hye ni nyina wo maye na saa enhye ye da wo manim ya wo peso wo ye ma enkura kase mu ho no mutimi dini no ene policy a eda ho nyina no wo mo chese wo mo de nsache kakra bi ebeba ho.
Local government 2016 net transfer to MMDs was 35.10%. In 2016, we increased it to 46.52%. In 2018, further increased to 53%, and 2019 increased further to 53.4%. So incrementally, we are transferring more resources to the district assembly. The next one was ensuring a speedy enactment of the municipal finance bill. A local government finances bill has been drafted. Consultations of the bill were conducted and feedback incorporated. For a matter as important as finance, Minister of Finance is involved seriously, so we had to get strong support and feedback from the Minister of Finance. And the bill is currently at the Attorney General's Department for final review. We also had improved allowances paid to assembly members. And we improved revenue generation capacity of MMDAs through digitization, and I will explain that further. Assembly can pay allowances to themselves only from their own internally generated funds. That's what Assembly says, that's what the Constitution says. So what we have done is to focus on increasing the internal generation capacity of the Assembly members, and they have done that and have improved on the payment of allowances to the Assembly members. At the back of the, attached to our report, I've indicated different examples of districts that have improved on the finances, that have increased allowances able to assemblies. For example, Gansaf has increased by 104%. Asunafundorf has increased by 64%. West Akim has increased by 150%. Lower Manya Krobo Municipal Assembly has increased by 200%. German North has increased by 50%. New Jordan has increased by 100%. Nkonta North 75%. Atiwa West 100%. Kwewu West 200%. Fantiako South 100%. And so minimal. Tema Metropolitan Municipal Assembly.
Na penyipa wope ye friend say president adie enti wo him franka party amama nyekwa friend say All People's Congress APC kode yewra Hassan ya Ghana asem na mekan wacha say aya no tie kire say no hwe Ghana hu say Ghana ye mobo pa say wo bia ye ba woni free kwamponche mra so osi ha na wo bia wo sika kakra na no aba no abeje chapade bebre no otia no na oba sa eniema ni nyina wo beyi afiri wo wo ye Ghana ni a ye bebu se wo ye Ghana ni mapa enti wode je papa begu akwam
identity under my government we will begin to know the real Ghanaian. We will have key identification, one for Ghanaians, full Ghanaians. What it means that your father must be a Ghanaian, your mother. These are the only people who can own property in this country. They are the first-class Ghanaians. And that will be the first identification for the Ghanaian. The Ghanaian passport will be given only the 3 kinds of passport. The first passport will be given to full Ghanaian, father Ghanaian, mother Ghanaian. And if you want to buy a property in this country, you have to pass through them. You being a second Ghanaian cannot acquire property in this country. You being a second Ghanaian cannot contest for the presidency of this country. You being a second Ghanaian can never be a parliamentarian. Because we are fast losing.
Kasiye boy nyina etwago ewo Kessben TV so me gina so ahome so aba na me ba ya de dwadie kasiye bo ebeto aso bo ena me de to aso na omensi kakrabia kasiye no ba no deni Dr. Ernest Addison e de atodwa se MPP aban ba enhye papa omudi gu akwan mu ese sikakrabia bi ho no ma na wo mu nyina wo na so yie na so obi kura di sika koto anu aso afidemiti nti e wo se sa banks ni nyina aban no timi gu no na ekokoba se sa banks na wo mu so adu mu dwetire akoto e na doso yenra Addison e di atodwa se aban no moa e na afia na mo pa Bank of Ghana etuo no se wo bia no ye customer bia no one more etwa wo bia sika e di ama wo mo ya chese customer bia ni hono mo a banks no a wo mo egu no besi ne wo beka se ne nsa enka ne sika afi yenhye amanone ensem aka ne soafo bia no wo ho a ne din ede yenwa femi ede atodwa se anokwasem no no nso so nsem so na sesei no ne video na trend saa yese na no da jofo kra ne kasa na ensantre ni bi man nsa so bisa ne question say tama no ye minister no to ahodo anu wokọ e wo Nigeria ho ni nyina no na ebi ho no mo expenses sika wo de kọ no aya na yese abantie yi bisa asem a se ye misane sa asumbo fatayu se de wati hwaba na sum no na nya asam keto na mpanifo atwetwe wura o mo hwe nipa yi edi ensam so wo Nigeria de o ba kasa ti asesa bia so na adwuma no wo ye nsentweroni asem bi obebu senti so obisa na wanu yawo de ama no ni anu yawo so krata ania na so hwe na sum sa na se video no ko social media sa dia na entwe yi.
I'm saying this on live TV. What? No, put that thing now. Let me address. What type of stupid question is that? What type of stupid question is that? Bankrolling who? Do you know who you are talking to? I will not take any questions from this man. What type of insulting question is that? Which bankroll? To do what? Who can give me money for anything? Who do you think you are talking to? Bankroll what? Go and report yourself to your publisher. Bankroll what? Please don't insult me here. Okay, I don't want to take any questions from this man. Very stupid. I could see from your face before you got here how stupid you are. Don't ever talk to me like that. Who do you think you're talking to? Bankroll who? You think that I'm one of those ones you'll be from who? From how? When? Where? How? You have a small mind. Very small mind. Don't judge me by your own standards. I've been in politics since 1990. I'm not one of these politicians you think will just come. I've been locked up how many times by this government? Suffered. I've been persecuted. Unlike most of the politicians you follow for brown envelope. You. Don't ever judge me by that standard. I spend, I don't take. And I'm not a poor man. I've never been and I will never be. Bankroll how? Don't ever suggest that to me. I'm sorry that it was deeply insulting. I don't often get annoyed in press conferences. I've been doing this type of thing for many, many years. Don't you ever make that kind of suggestion to me. Bankroll who, a former minister, a lawyer. Don't ever try that with me again. No. Don't, please. You see me well. Don't ever. All right? I have a short fuse. Okay? Don't. Try it with others. Don't. I won't just say right now. I will hit you hard. Don't. And if anybody sent you to ask that question and gave you brand new, go and tell them you got more than they bargained for to do it. Very rude. It's not the standard of daily trust at all, and I will report you to your publisher.
Asamo. Yani minister see any question and central for baby science. Central for bisa question and no so na. Di mo say obi ko kwa paye no a. Na ni abra wase na de ne bufu afuo no nya asem keto an hu say central ni na adwene da ne tirim na kete nsam a obi say ne nkoyie. Na yenhwe anigide kasebo. Ene jidie kase bomu no enche kura na chese American memo metre ayi ohimali zikuro mu bretase London wo mu ba be ye film festival ewo ho na afi film pa wonu mu chese nipa wo director ye no ye friend no Steve McQueen na nidin ade ayi mangrove ye se no na be hete pa fi se afia pem ahankro ne aduoso mu ye hwe enipa tuntum womo ene abrofi asojafo ne aposifo enkutahudi a womo bedi ye ena afi so kwampo crash a womo ebe crash ya eno ho eno womo di aye movie kase pa chese womo no wetimu se blacks no a womo ayi movies ahodo pa wa America memu no womo no aniti pa ena womo ewo sa mango fi mu a enche kra sa film festival no womo ebe pa ho entuma. Eno so ena mejina de anwumre kase eboni nyina sie na mada kosia somwa Elizabeth wobo a ensemi na Belinda ewraba papa bi ono so ne wata mechi pampe misakwachi wono ena wo director ye edemame na atobra eka ho menua be ma bebeken ono so ebo modern agina camera na chi ema me seta chianom yera emosnom wonum nyina boa me pa na mbeken kai de mamo meden adinya ko abono magima at 40 label nana afia Hammond papa bi e wo patase woni paparazzi ene sanso die hia ne se wo beko obedjuju style papa ama nso ho ayefe wono ane pamatade e hyeme entu betimi afren e wo 0244 607305 style bia opebia obepam ade ahyew anwumre me ma obi a good evening.